name correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, my name is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy sister, and today we're reading Saturnastra Karina by me. Okay, this is like... Wait, that was lesson 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lesson 4, part 2. And Utopias. The one that was... Janus' final thought had been quite murderous indeed, which did not inspire much confidence. Such thoughts came to Janus from time to time, but he was a pacifist at heart, and he never acted upon them. Miko had been thinking about germs, so his board consisted of microbes, only seen through his microscope. Suntaria had been thinking about a maiden playing the violin, and while a younger boy was sitting on her head doing the same thing. Lucian's board showed a mouth, hands, and feet. The one that was more surprising was Casimir's board. It was blank, which gave everyone in the classroom plenty to think about. Still, the one that gave everyone much to talk about was Karina's board. It showed lots of squid tentacles coming out of a coffer. "Is that the shapeshifter?" asked Casimir. "It seems pretty obvious if you ask me," commented Babiso. "It is certainly not boring," said Lucian. "By and by, I want to speak to you at the end of class." "Sure, it isn't as if I had anything better to do with my time on this world," said Karina. "Oh no, on this Earth," said Karina. "Earth? Oh, you mean your home world," said Casimir. "Yeah, I heard about it from the other soldiers who work with Marduke, said Suntaria. Are the tentacle shapeshifter monsters common in your home world?" asked Lucian. "Yes, but they're not monsters. We used to call them cuttlefishes. Wrinkle is the sole survivor. He is immortal till he finds himself a mate. After the union, he will die like Karina." The board belonging to Karina showed a representation of a cuttlefish and how it could shapeshift. Suntaria then said, "This is all well and fun, but what does that have to do with anything? Or the board, for that matter? How is learning about other people's thoughts going to make us better people?" "It is a little something called empathy, or wearing other people's shoes. People lately spend too much time trying to make others think the way they do that they do not bother to understand them. And the real importance of the board is that thoughts are fun enough, but most people do rarely think things through or act on their thoughts because they are ephemeral and random," said Karina. Yes, mother, the concept of empathy, it is all well and good, but a person who wasps can never wear the shoes of somebody without legs," retorted Suntaria. "Well said, my little owl. I had thought enough of this nonsense for today. Classes will take place again eventually, and I will post a letter, and I will send a summary of the events discussed in the previous classes," said Karina. "Why bother? If they cannot seem to show up to class, why make their information available to them? It just seems unfair to those who came." "Give it a rest already," said Suntaria, said Janus, grabbing her by the elbow. He did not put any force in his touch, rather it was just a light pat. It's like... Suntaria elbowed his arm away. Janus was on... Karina walked past Suntaria, and the maiden tried to address Karina again, but she looked past her, completely ignoring her voice and her presence. Lucian followed behind her, and the other students as well. Before Janus and Suntaria realized they had been left completely alone in the classroom. Miko had seen them squabble hundreds of times, and he had grown rather weary of watching their lovers quarrel. Whenever he saw Janus and Suntaria together, he knew that they were eventually going to end up arguing. Just as everyone had expected, Janus and Suntaria spent an hour arguing. Their yelling was eventually stopped by the librarian, who had grown weary of the noise that they were creating. When Suntaria started raising her voice, Janus was forced to follow in suit, and as such, in the meantime, Karina and Lucia were engaged in pleasant conversation about the language of flowers and why people should eat more meat. As I was saying, it doesn't make much sense to me to love nature and yet value one species over another. Plants feel pain too. Eating them over animals doesn't make you a better person, said Karina. Time?
10 minutes.
Even so, I can't stand the sound of animals being killed, said Lucian, shuddering. One of his father's early business ventures had been a butcher's shop. More than once, Lucian had to help in the preparation of the meat. The scent of meat alone was enough to make him sick to his stomach. Don't feel too bad about it. As long as it was a clean kill, nothing else mattered. There's nothing worse than a slow, painful death, said Karina. And besides, the animals in this world were put for you to live with and occasionally eat. I have been wondering about that, said Lucian. The train of thought was interrupted when they saw a kid escorted by the guards. The child was covered in slime, feathers, and confetti. Karina laughed as they took the kid away. Vinca apparently had succeeded in capturing the thief. Lucian saw the guards drawing near, so he asked, "Do you have my watch?" "Here you go, Lucian. Thank you for your service," said the guard. "Nothing to it," said Lucian. "Who was the kid?" asked Karina. She had no information on the fellow because there were so many people in the city. "The kid is Regin, son of Odrute Yelnarson," said Lucian. "Son of Odru. Oh, that Ort," said Karina, remembering. "Yes, that Ort," said nodded Lucian. Ort was a minor dwarven lord in the court of Veragerung. He was quite wealthy, and during the change of leadership, he did not pick a side. Rather, he left the city, and then he returned when everything had finally settled down. As of lately, he went to pester Marduke about his living arrangements and about not being taken serious. He was hoping to make himself indispensable to the new administration. So far, he was not being too successful, but he kept trying at it to see what stuck. Regis was his youngest son, of a brood of 28 children. There were 17 boys, 10 daughters, and one intersex child. Intersex was more common in dwarves than in humans. Regis suffered from androgen insensitive syndrome and thus had the body of a female despite being a male. None of it mattered, and it did not affect his life. And did not affect the life of Regis, who acted in accordance with his true nature despite the vicious signs of being a lady. Since he had one female ova, he did not have fertility problems. When Regis saw Karina and Lucian, she whined and said, "It was them. They set me up. Why would I steal? I am filthy rich. I actually live in a castle, unlike Mr. King Poverty." "Enough. You're only sinking yourself deeper, Regin," said the guard. "That is Sir Regin to do, and if I had my dagger on you, keep complaining, little Regin." Regin has been a star pupil in the army, but had been discharged for his klepto habits. Apparently, she had not outgrown them. She no longer stole items, but she still picked the locks and handled the items a bit before putting them back. The first lock she had picked was to enter her alien mother's room, and when her mother died, Regin almost joined her due to the infectious nature of the virus. Marduke arrived on time to heal her, but he had not arrived soon enough to help Regin's mother. Ever since then, Regin picked locks and stole items in order to cope with stress. It was close to final, and naturally, she was feeling a little klepto. Time?
8 minutes.
Lucian and Karina saw Regin being taken away. Lucian gave her a pitiful look because she didn't have a mother. Meanwhile, Karina regarded the little girl quite amused. Regin felt annoyed by Karina's look while she felt insulted by Lucian. The last thing she was said to the pair was, "I don't need your pity." Lucian and Karina went for it. Eventually, they reached a coffee shop that faced the school. This coffee shop was called Grandma's Reismosa. It was named after the units of a coffee plant that was being used. The shop was actually a person's home. The main floor door opened to the top, and then the people could place their order. An elderly maiden then made the coffee and poured it on porcelain cups. After the coffee was drawn, the cups were returned. There was about 4 tables with 2 chairs, and the lady of the house shared the last name of Begonia Pureheart. They were not related. Rather, she had stolen the identity of one of Begonia's distant cousins, and the verification of identities could only be done by hearsay due to all of the documents that had been lost due to the war. Nobody seemed to question whether she was related to her or not. Karina and Lucia took a table under the eucalyptus tree, and the tree was in the process of removing all of its leaves, and intended to do so at all times of the year. Lucian said to her, "I'm going to get the coffee, you wait here." Karina nodded in response. When Lucia's back was turned, Karina let out a yawn. Some of the men there drinking coffee shotgun. One even smiled at Karina. She lowered her eyes, and then she started to look at a little ant walking on the table. Her reverie of the little ant was interrupted when Lucian placed the coffee cup right on top of the poor ant. Karina raised an eyebrow, said annoyed. "So what is the all-important conversation you wanted to have with me?" "I'm sorry," said Lucian, sitting down. "Did I do something wrong?" "No," said nothing at all. One cannot go through our life worrying about every little thing, but at times I just can't help it, especially if it's a very charismatic ant," said Karina. "A very charismatic what?" Karina raised the cup, and she saw the little creature was fine, just a little overheated and disoriented. Sighing, she said, while holding the cup, "Pay me no mind. I get like that at least for a couple of days per month. It wears off eventually." "Ah," said Lucian, thinking he understood. Seeing as though Karina was not talking, Lucian said, drawing closer, "Well, I have been hearing from some of the other customers and nobles some worrisome complaints and ideas." Karina leaned back on her chair to regain her personal space. Lucian drew his chair even closer, and he whispered, "The merchants have been complaining about how crowded the city has gotten, and that the soldiers have no money because they rarely buy anything, and that the city might fall into poverty if we do not regain the tributes of the rogue territories." "Those territories are not rogue, they are free, which is not the same as being rogue," said Karina. "We will play nice with it and do a little commerce, and it might do the merchants some good to get out of the city every once in a while." "Not every merchant has can afford to travel," said Lucian. "Nothing venture, nothing gain, and it's not as if the soldiers are dirt poor. In fact, most of them have gotten pay raise because my brother believes in paying a person what they owe. The soldiers are just going through an austerity period. Since we're normalized, once brother starts going out into public and starts buying random things." "I see, but why are they so spooked? Were they ordered to save up? Oh yeah, the time?
2 minutes, 27 seconds.
"Well, when you see someone in power doing something, you imagine that they know something that you don't. And you don't know the real reason behind it, but you do it nonetheless," explained Karina, after taking a sip of her hot coffee. Lucian said, "Huh," before raising an eyebrow. He then said, "So they are acting rather foolish. So they seem that they're acting rather foolishly indeed. Because, they're imitating the king because the king is living in austerity, so they think that the country has no money, so then they are saving up money." To put it in layman's terms, yes. Aside from following his rules, Marduke never asked anyone to imitate him. "I suppose," said Lucia, staring at the cup. He looked up suddenly, as soon as he remembered me. And then he says, "Ah yes, my cousin and some of the boys are probably going to be pestering you in the future. You should keep an eye out for that." "Time, bro?"
1 minute, 30 seconds.
"Let me guess," said Karina, resting her head on one of her hands. "Their parents guess that I might be rich because of the jewelry I wear, and they thought it might be preferable for me to marry into a royal bloodline." "Yes, something like that." "It is as if that's the only way they can think," said Lucian with disgust in his eye. "Some things cannot be helped, little Lucian. If you live with fishes and you look and act as a fish, you can be expected that other people might start looking you in quite the fishy way," said Karina. Lucian laughed, not getting it. He only bothered to come to Karina's classes because he found them amusing, but he rarely learned anything. Marduke was aware that of the spending habits of his soldiers, so he was trying to diversify the forms of entertainment of the city in order to create a bit of distraction. Time, bro?
20 seconds.
Alright, let's just end it here. Bye bye, make up.